Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated Journato evening headlines on May 11, 2022. Coldplay labeled useful idiots for greenwashing after deal with oil company. The Guardian, Coldplay respond to being called useful idiots for greenwashing. We are doing our best. The Independent, watch Houston song Coldplay dedicated to city at NRG Stadium show. Cron, video, watch Coldplay perform a song written especially for Houston. Houston Chronicle, last night, Coldplay at NRG. Ukraine prosecutors ready to launch first war crimes trials of Russia conflict. The Guardian, Russia-Ukraine war news, live updates. The Washington Post, Ukraine prosecutor says Russian soldier to be tried on war crimes charge. On Norway's Arctic border with Russia, a town freezes ties with its eastern neighbor. Russian diplomats spurned in Europe's capitals. Reuters, Russian ambassador to Poland covered in red paint by anti-war protesters. Evening Standard, Russian ambassador doused in red paint by anti-war protesters in Poland. The Irish Times, Russia not planning to close embassies in Europe, Riot. Reuters, live updates, Russia-Ukraine war. Vladimir Putin, more dangerous than Hitler or Stalin, says Poland's prime minister. The Independent, Vladimir Putin is more dangerous than Adolf Hitler or Joseph Stalin. Ukraine war, the pounding of Azovstal, pictures that tell 1,000 words. Sky News, photos show wounded defenders of Mariupol trapped in Azovstal steel plant. ITV News, around 100 civilians remain trapped in Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol. Evening Standard, don't kill our dads, plead children of trapped Mariupol steelworks soldiers. The Telegraph, officials say 100 civilians still at Mariupol steelworks despite rescue efforts. Passenger with no flying experience lands plane at Florida airport after pilot becomes incapacitated. The Independent, watch, passenger forced to land plane after pilot falls unconscious. The Telegraph, a passenger with no flying experience landed a plane at a Florida airport after the pilot became incapacitated. Couple wake to find strange dog sleeping in their bed. The Independent, dog walks 2 miles, goes into random home then gets in bed. Metro.co.uk, woman wakes up to find strange dog in bed with her. Wales Online, Chip's good word, strange dog. WDEF News 12, Tennessee couple wakes up to find strange dog sleeping in their bed. Ukraine war, Russia push back in northeast, report from Frontline. BBC, Ukrainian forces push Russians out of North Kharkiv and recapture villages. ITV News, fresh losses for Putin as Russian army loses most of Kharkiv and Ukraine holds ground at Mariupol Mill. City AM, Russian forces suffer blow in battle for Kharkiv as fighting continues for Snake Island. The Scotsman, Ukraine recaptures villages from Russian troops around Kharkiv. Parasitic worms get sucked into gender bias row amid claims of names being sexist. Sky News, a new frontier in fighting sexism, parasitic worms. The underground networks of Russians helping Ukrainian refugees. COVID-19, mandatory wearing of face masks in airports and on European flights no longer recommended. Vicky White News, latest updates, 911 call reveals Alabama correction officer's final words to Casey White. The Independent, Casey White appears in court in cuffs and shackles. Daily Mail, inside the manhunt for an escaped murder suspect and jailer. The Independent, pictured, escaped Alabama inmate Casey White is seen in new mugshot. Paraguay's top prosecutor killed on honeymoon on Colombian beach. Sri Lanka unrest, shoot on sight order issued as troops deployed in Colombo. The Guardian, arson attacks in Sri Lanka as protests over economic crisis continue. BBC News. BBC News, Sri Lanka cricket stars come out in support of anti-government protests. This is state-backed violence. The Independent, Sri Lankan troops ordered to open fire on looters and vandals as protests continue. BBC, Sri Lankan military authorized to shoot curfew breakers on site amid protests. Pussy Riot band member Maria Alyokhina escapes Russia dressed as food courier after criticizing Putin. As Boris Johnson heads to Finland, what will it mean if the Finns join NATO? Sky News, Finland expected to begin process of joining NATO this week, BBC News. BBC News, UK strikes security agreement with Sweden and Finland as NATO bids loom. Reuters.com, coming up, Johnson holds press conference with Swedish Prime Minister Andersson on NATO membership. The Telegraph, Boris Johnson's visit to Finland and Sweden to discuss NATO membership a red rag to Moscow. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.